I think what happened a lot for many people is like, why is this happening? Why is God punishing me? Right? I mean, I know somebody close to me actually said that. You know, why is this all happening? Why am I being punished? Like, you're not. You're having an invitation to adaptability and resilience right now, and to change what you're making this mean. And then to remember that your higher power knows better than you. Our cosmic blueprint that each one of us was born with, FYI, when we're in fight, flight, freeze, we don't know where to find that at all. And we see our higher power or the universe or God or however you want to call, great spirit, divine matrix, whatever the name you feel comfortable with, it turns into Santa Claus, right? Like, well, I was good. I should not be suffering. I was very good. I did everything right. Why is this happening? And that's not how it works, right? All of us are in that transformation, metamorphosis of the caterpillar turning into a butterfly, right? That's just the way we're rolling right now. So we have to remember that it's not comfortable. Her feet are still stuck in this statue, and how's she going to get anywhere? She can't yet. Okay, so that's what I want you to consider. And that's for all of us. The fight, flight, freeze mechanism is natural for us to protect ourselves. It's not a bad thing. But what we want to do is disconnect it so that we can actually see ourselves with greater clarity and at least say, hey, okay, if I took that and stayed and got off patrol, right, because we're on patrol all the time, always seeking to see what could possibly go wrong or what could possibly hurt us or what. And listen, like we say, we have a world that is unstable around us right now. So we can't look to all of that to find our safety or security. It has to come from inside. But when we say we are unworthy, it actually sabotages our capacity to be fully embodied in our, in that cosmic blueprint that I mention a lot, that sense that we're here for a purpose. It's not about finding a purpose outside of us. Our purpose is looking for us all the time. It's that we've allowed our conditioning to make us blind to it, and it's right outside the door going, are you going to open the door? Like, hello, right? And we can't because we don't know how, and we've been trained to be blind. Even our resistance is useful to us, okay? That's the other thing. Like, I'm feeling resistance. Good. Okay, good. Because then you're going to feel that you're pushing against something and you say, what do I make this mean? That's how we grow. We cannot deny our resistance. Our resistance is part of the process. It's like a tulip. How do you think it gets up out of that hard ground? It has to resist the packed earth to come out of the ground. And it's the first flower that comes out in spring. So I want us all to make peace with our resistance instead of making it wrong or bad. Or when we feel it, that something's going wrong or we didn't do it right. Resistance is a key piece of personal growth, and that's just all there is to it. And it's not supposed to be comfortable. There's a reason why this is all called the road less traveled and not easy straight. Everybody quits after a period of time once they hit the resistance thing. Nobody wants to admit that, like that they have resentment to themselves. And I can tell you a big one for me. For the longest time, thank you, I believed that I absolutely had to be there for anybody, anytime they needed me. And I got an identity out of that I could be that person. But it almost killed me. I mean, to constantly become that person that then defines themselves by being needed by others, then all of a sudden there's an identity there that isn't about the truth of that person. So I had a lot of that to clean up for me, that kind of codependent relationship. Now, I am sober, clean and sober, 35 and a half years. So I was an addict. I mean, I'm always going to be an addict. Let's just call it what it is, but I haven't had a drink or a drug in over 35 years. But I've had to work and I had to peel away some of those onion skins to get to the real me. And I had a lot of behaviors that enabled me to, in a way, to keep people at a distance And then to come back to say to myself, well, why am I so depleted? Because I'm saying yes, I'm basically not having good boundaries. And that I'm now a boundary badass, I'll tell you that much. But it took a while. And I know that that's a really big one for a lot of people. So that alone, the subject of boundaries, having flexible boundaries, not rigid boundaries, the idea of boundaries alone is very much related to the willingness that we might have to forgive ourselves for not being perfect at things. I had the most amazing woman who was my mentor. When I got clean and sober, she was just like Aunt Clara from Bewitched. And she looked like her, she talked like her, she'd make a spell and she'd end up in the garbage can. I mean, she was amazing. And she called me her exotic bird. Her name was Marguerite Lee, and she was my spiritual guide. She loved me as I was, and I was a wild one. And she made me feel like I was worthy. Now, she made me feel like that, but the truth was, all she did was keep repeating like a broken record. God doesn't make junk. And she was very, very much, in a unity. She's the one who took me to Unity Church. It's like, God doesn't make junk. How are you junk? If God can accept you as you are, you got a second chance. What are you doing? I'll be like, So if we could remember that, and that was who taught me that I was worthy no matter what I had done and no matter where I had been and no matter how pissed off I was and no matter how shamed I was and no matter how angry I was and no matter how hard done by I was and how poor I was, none of that mattered. So that was, I have to say, to be able to be around people that can hold space for that is really key, and that's what we're doing this weekend.